Your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief keeps you informed about what's happening in Annapolis, Anne Arundel County, and Maryland. Local news, local sports, local events, local opinion, and, of course, local weather. Your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief starts now.
Good morning. It's Wednesday, April 12th, 2023. This is John Frenaye, and this is your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief presented by Annapolis Subaru and the SPCA of Anne Arundel County. Wow, what a response to our ticket gives yesterday. Might have to do it again a little bit later on today, but first, there is some news, so let's get into it, shall we? The FBI is warning people not to use public USB ports to charge your phones and tablets. Now, these are the ports that are in coffee shops, airports, bars, concerts, etc., and they say that bad actors, and they're not talking about Ben Affleck and Geely, but they say bad actors have found a way to hack into them, and you run the risk of getting injected with malware or worse, your information stolen. They're also warning against online shopping via public Wi-Fi as well. Now, using a power outlet and your own plug-in cable is fine. This is just the plain USB ports that you see where you would plug a cable into that port and charge your phone. Don't do that. Another good suggestion from me is to never plug in any USB drive into your computer unless you know the contents of it. I know it could be enticing and tempting to see what may be on it, but it could also wipe your computer clean. It's budget time in Annapolis, and just like spring follows winter, a higher budget follows the last. This year, Mayor Buckley is proposing a budget of $182 million, and I'm not sure the exact number, but I believe former Mayor Panellidi's final budget was at about $115 million. The mayor does say that they have some leftover COVID money and got a boost in revenue from state taxes, and they saw lower expenses due to staffing shortages. And as long as the math works out, the mayor is not proposing any property tax increases this year. So now the council has until the end of June to chop it all up and spit it back out. Hey, parents of little kids, registration for kindergarten for Anne Arundel County Public Schools is open today. You can enroll your kid and reserve a seat for next school year as long as they'll be 5 before September 1st of 2023. You can and should go to aacps.org to register, or you can look for flyers in the schools or in backpacks with a QR code, and you can scan it. To fully register, you need proof of your identity. That's your identity. The kiddo's original birth certificate or birth record, a copy of the child's immunization record, and 2 proofs of residency. That could be a deed, a lease, mortgage statement, utility bill, etc. And also a custody order if that applies to your situation. The Bay Bridge Boat Show is this weekend at the Bay Bridge Marina on Kent Island, and if you are concerned about invasive species and the bay, go to this thing. The Coastal Conservation Association will be there educating us all about the damage they cause, how to handle it, and even how to cook them when you do come across them. And of course, there's going to be plenty of boats and more gear than you can figure, just begging to get out on the bay. If you want to go, get in touch with me. I might toss a pair of tickets your way. Okay, that is a wrap on the news. Up this Saturday on the Local Business Spotlight, it is crunch time for me and my editing skills, but we're going to hear from Mike Carter with Annapolis Tours and Crawls, and next weekend, Dr. Mark Bedell, our very own Superintendent of Public Schools here in Anne Arundel County. All right, let's put this puppy to bed with a quick thank you to you and also to our sponsors for the Daily News Brief. Annapolis Subaru, the SPCA of Anne Arundel County, Solar Energy Services, Hospice of the Chesapeake, and the Maryland Higher Education Commission. So now you need to hang tight because George Young from DCMD VA Weather is standing by with the only locally forecast weather report you're going to find. And Bridget, also known as BeeprBuzz, has all of your music news in Annapolis After Dark. Hey, and if you're out and about, say hello to her. She's real hard to miss. 2 cell phones in the air, usually hanging out with all the young kids. All right, all that's coming up in just a bit, so hang tight.
Did you get close to completing your college degree but dropped out during the COVID pandemic? Well, as a near completer, you may be eligible to receive money from the Maryland Higher Education Commission to finish your degree. Again, if you started your degree but for whatever reason never finished it, the Maryland Higher Education Commission has money to help you return to college and finish what you started. Go to mhec.maryland.gov and click on the Near Completer grant to learn more.
When you live near Annapolis, you know how fickle the weather can be, so you need a truly local forecast that's accurate and reliable. Forecast right here in Annapolis. DCMDVA weather is not just for today, but for the rest of the week and the weekend too. Now here's George Young of DCMDVA weather with the weather outlook for today and beyond.
Hey everyone, this is George with DCMDVA Weather, and this is your Eye on Annapolis forecast for Wednesday, April 12th. Yesterday brought the weather magic to the Annapolis area with max sunshine, light winds, and temps in the 70s. And today through Friday, if not much of Saturday, will bring more of the same as temps climb into the 80s. Look for tons of sun today with breezy highs in the low to mid 80s, to be followed by more summer-like conditions tomorrow with sunshine and highs in the mid or even upper 80s in spots, with another great day on tap Friday with sunny highs around 80 degrees. As for the weekend, expect mixed skies Saturday with highs in the mid to upper 70s with a small but valid chance of some PM rain showers, with PM rain and maybe a few storms then becoming likely Sunday as a frontal boundary moves through the area with highs Sunday near 80 degrees. Okay, that's it for today. This is George Young of DCMDVA Weather. Make it a great day out there today. Stay healthy and be safe. And don't forget, follow DCMDVA Weather on Facebook and Twitter for regular updates each day, along with the website at dcmdvaweather.info, so you can always stay weather informed.
It's opening weekend for the Bowie Bay Sox on April 14th, so make your way out for the best affordable family fun at Prince George's Stadium. Friday and Saturday night, the best fireworks shows in the region follow the game. And with a 1:05 start on Sunday, you can get a special ticket package for a pregame egg hunt or come out and run the bases postgame. Get your tickets now by calling 301-805-6000 or anytime online at baysox.com. The Bowie Bay Sox. Let us be your 9-inning vacation.
Coping with advanced illness can be overwhelming, and determining the best options for a loved one isn't always so easy. But here at Hospice of the Chesapeake, your hometown hospice, we want you to know you do have a choice. You can choose exactly who provides the care and the type of care you receive, and it's your decision when and where your loved one receives that care. We have served our community, family, and friends for over 40 years. We are there when you need us. Learn how we can help at hospicechesapeake.org.
The music scene in Anne Arundel County is popping, and sometimes it's hard to sort through it all. From blues to pop, from funk to ska, BeeprBuzz has it all covered for you in this week's Annapolis After Dark.
Good morning, Annapolis. BeeprBuzz here with your Annapolis After Dark weekend music highlights for Wednesday, April 11th through Sunday, April 16th. Go to the socials for Annapolis Streaming and BeeprBuzz, and also both websites for the full schedule. We update the event and all websites with changes and cancellations so you know before you go. AnnapolisStreaming.com and BeeprBuzz.com. Live music for today, Wednesday. Start with Classical Music Happy Hour with Pam Godfrey and Paula Sweeterlish every second Wednesday at 49 West. Then head next door to Stan & Joe's to welcome Brendan Lane back. He's back on land from performing on a cruise ship and will be at Stan & Joe's solo, minus his band, the Sugar Packets. Over at Galway Bay, Irish Traditional Sessions will fill Maryland Avenue with the sounds from Ireland with Peter Bryce and friends. Ryan Cozell is back at Middleton Tavern tonight. Solid Sender Trio will be at EDC in Eastport, but you must be a member or signed in by a member to attend. Up in Severna Park, Lost and Found Trio Band will be playing for the happy hour crowd at Twain's Tavern. Grace Guild will be at Mother's in Arnold. Ryan Keith and Tom Coster are back at River Bay Roadhouse. And Ben Heemstra will have his full band called Ben playing at Dark Horse. Thursday, get to the point for Dan Haas. Firm Brewing is coming to Annapolis and taking over Beacon, which used to be Sam's on the Waterfront. Sean Owen is playing, so you know this is going to be a good time with good beer. Nate Finn will be at Brian Brew in Severna Park. Up in Pasadena, Sharon Donovan and Jim Mateo will be at Anthony's. Speaking of Pasadena, here's a big announcement. The Joeys have a new Thursday night residency at the office. Joey Harcum and Joey Mitchell will be there now every Thursday for their new acoustic series there. And end the night with one of my favorites at one of my favorite places, Severn River Band at Dark Horse. Weekend music. Friday music start with Happy Hour at Blackwall Hitch with Dana B. Dan Healy will be at Reynolds Tavern. Ben Lonesbury of Severn River Band will be solo with the keys at Annapolis Market House. Across the street, Loose Ties will be at Middleton Tavern downstairs with Donald Wolcott upstairs in the piano bar. At Caliente Grill, enjoy a salsa class and social dance with a DJ. And around the corner, Honey Soul will be rocking Annapolis Smokehouse. Fresh Pint Maryland will be back at Mother's in Arnold, but there will be hopefully a surprise. In Severna Park, the Reagan years will be bringing the 80s to Twain's Tavern. Meg Murray and Brian Ewald will be at Brian Baru. Just down the road, George Evans will be at Sullivan's Cove. David Sparrow will be at Blackwell Barn and Lodge in Gambrels. DJ Manella will be at Federal House. DJ Draco will be at O'Brien's. And up in Ellicott City, the Caffeine Rush will be at Kelsey's Irish Pub. Saturday, start your day with breakfast at Bread and Butter Kitchen in Eastport and enjoy tunes by Michael Kay of Pretty Big Deal. The Blue Ribbon Project is having an open house in Crownsville, and Guava Jelly will be performing. Nate Finn will be down at Stan and Joe's Riverside in Galesville. Penny Pestolero will be back at Dark Horse. He was a huge hit the last time he performed there. Rickshaw Lizard will be bringing the funk and more cowbell to Ram's Head Roadhouse in Crownsville. Jennifer Schimpf will be at Blackwell Barn and Lodge in Gambrels. Andy Hall, known as Slop, spittin' lyrics on point, will be sitting in with Sweet Lita at Nick's Fish House in Baltimore. Mixed Business will be at White Oak Tavern in Ellicott City. The Tommy McGee Band will be at Mother's in Arnold. Dan Hosh Trio will be at Senior Chili in Arnold. And music is back at Szechuan Inn at Severna Park. Saturday you'll find Lost and Found Trio Band. And Moran Tripp Duo will be at Brian Baru. Sunday Fun Day. Start with brunch at Grump's with music with Guava Jelly Duo. Leather Chair Record Store concerts return to Trip Records in Edgewater. This week will be Dan Healy Trio. Then head down to Stan and Joe's Riverside in Galesville because their Sunday music is back, and you'll find Doug Day. DJ Veritas will be at Chart House on Sunday afternoon in Eastport. Outside in Market Space, David Andrew Smith will be performing in front of Federal House. Nate Finn and Jack Shank will be inside at Annapolis Market House. And end the weekend with West Street Revival Band and Friends performing songs from 1976 at Stan and Joe's on West Street. Remember, these are just the highlights. Find the full schedule of music for all of Annapolis and surrounding areas on the Annapolis Streaming Facebook event and on the websites AnnapolisStreaming.com and BeeprBuzz.com, spelled BeeprBuzz. You'll see me out there.
Hello, energy consumers. This is Rick Peters, president of Solar Energy Services. Have you been looking for ways to save money recently? Maybe you should consider solar energy for your home. Or are you waiting for the technology to get cheaper? If so, how long are you going to wait? Today's solar costs less than 20% of what it cost 10 years ago. But while solar prices have declined every year, so have the financial incentives. Bottom line, if you wait for cheaper solar, you're also waiting for lower incentives. Take my home, for example. My solar system was installed in 2010, and it's been paid off for almost 5 years, and I no longer have to buy any electricity for another 15 to 20 years. If I waited for cheaper solar, I'd still be paying an electric bill. At Solar Energy Services, we have thousands of satisfied customers who are sure glad they didn't wait. So what are you waiting for? Sunshine's a wasted. Call us today for a free solar design at 410-923-6090 or on the web at solarsaves.net.
Sunshine, sunshine, nothing else can make me feel so fine.
You've been listening to the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. Tell your friends and colleagues, this is the podcast where you can keep up on the latest with what's going on in Annapolis and Anne Arundel County. And don't forget about our website, eyeonannapolis.net, where you can find even more information. And make sure you follow us on Facebook at All Annapolis and on Twitter at Eye on Annapolis. This Daily News Brief podcast comes to you every Monday through Friday at 6 a.m.